So hey everybody, weekend read. Hope everybody's doing good. My name's Laura, and we're going to do a tarot card reading tonight. I don't know what the topic's going to be yet. I never do. Well, that's not true. Sometimes I do, but tonight I don't. It goes both ways. I have been thinking about a couple things, but as you can see tonight, first of all, my microphone is not working, so oh my gosh, I need to get a new microphone. I just bought it and it's already not working. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm gonna try to move close and speak loud enough because I have a roommate sleeping. If anybody watches my channel, you know this. And I have neighbors upstairs right now that are legitimately having a circus up there, I'm pretty sure. I mean, elephants and whatnot are running across the ceiling, so yeah. Anyways, I couldn't make up my mind even on the cards I wanted to use tonight. It's just one of those days, so I might do a couple from Cat Tarot, and I might do some from the Gilded Reverie Lenormand, which is I would say the prettiest deck I have. The way it reads is a little bit different, the way the messages that it gives are a little different, but I was kind of tossed up between love stuff and just general messages, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of both and see what happens. So I was walking out in the parking lot the other day. Can you believe this huge feather I found? Oh my gosh, it's massive. I have no idea where this came from. Don't laugh at me if it came from a buzzard, but nonetheless, they're all God's creatures, and this is an amazing feather. I do pick up feathers. I've never seen one this big on the ground. No clue what kind of bird it comes from, but I sprayed it. I did spray it down with a sanitizer, so even if it came from a good old buzzard, you know, they got to do their job too, you know. Something passes away, they take care of it, and, you know, the cycle of life. So neither here nor there. I like it. Okay. Weird, strange, crazy, nutty energy here lately. I know there's a whole bunch of planetary stuff going on, and I don't feel that way, but the people around me have been on one. That's all I gotta say. And it's made me exhausted. I mean, drained. I did go do some important stuff today. It was tax day. That feels good to have that done for another year. And it is Saturday, so I can stay up late and not have to worry about anything specific tomorrow but what I want to do, because I accomplished the tax thing. So hopefully tomorrow I just go relax. I need it very badly. Very badly. So here we go. I hope everybody's doing good. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, whether you're returning or new. I really appreciate the views. Not financially, but just that I could give a message that could either be, you know, could be uplifting in any sort of way. I always ask for my higher power to help to give me messages to put out there. I have been thinking about some really serious topics here lately, but I'm not sure how to start expressing those things. One being domestic violence, I'm not just talking about love partners, I'm talking about from parents on up. That's a huge issue for me. I have experienced it myself, and I have survived it. I have not experienced it to the extent of what some people have, but any of it is not good, okay? I don't know exactly how I'm going to start easing into those kind of topics, because I don't want that to be what this channel is about, but I do want to help anyone, man, any gender, though it usually happens a lot to women. I know it happens to men too. I'm sorry if that's happening to you. And I'm hoping that I can find ways to share with you and not get too personal, but to tell you you can make it out and you can overcome it. But you have to first find out why or how you could have gotten into a situation with a person like that. And it more than likely had to do with your self-esteem. Not always, but a lot of times. Or something you experienced as a kid, teenager, or somewhere along your life's journeys to where you thought you somehow normalized that. It's okay for people to be violent to you one moment and love you the next. It's not normal. So I'm just letting you know that. Let's just start there. It isn't normal. It could be something that the abuser also experienced, and so they're taking it out on you because they don't know how to process their emotions from whatever their issues are. It is not an excuse. There is no reason in the world one person should harm another. And usually when you get into those type of relationships, one person who's the abuser is going to maybe even unintentionally get you to also throw hands. Because when somebody is doing something to you on a repeated basis that pushes your buttons, and then they're also pushing you around or even verbally abusing you, at some point there's a high possibility that you're going to snap, and you're probably going to react in a violent way. Don't let them get you to that point. Don't let them drag you down into their vibration, and above all, get away from them. Not the 5th time, but the 1st time that they show you any kind of violent tendencies, or for that matter, even verbal abuse. It's all abuse. I recommend you get away from them as quickly as possible and find out through either some counseling or some serious inner work why you are. Where did that wound come from where you're allowing someone to do that to you? And you think that's normal, or you think that's in any way love? Because if somebody harms you, they don't love you. They really don't. And if they do, it's not a healthy love at the very least. So if it came from your childhood, I highly recommend you get help before you get injured or go to jail, or you could do something to them. Okay? End of topic for tonight. I love you if you're going through that. And if you experienced that as a child. And I hope you heal. And I hope you get through it. And you can. I'm proof. I'm proof. So, and don't ever judge a book by its cover, because you never know what anyone's been through on the street. Some of the people that you would expect to have had ever gone through something that you're going through, well, I'm an example. You may not know it by meeting me, that I have experienced things in my life, but I have. I'm not ashamed to talk about it at all. What I am glad about is that I recognize that for me, it did come from my childhood. I basically equated, again, being mistreated one moment and then loved bomb the next. And so that's just what was normal to me, And I repeated that relationship over and over and over and over and over again. Until finally I started to realize that I was worth more than that. And I decided to heal. I decided to sit by myself. Well, it's been a year now. And then it was like a couple of years before this last situation that I thought I had worked on myself enough, but I hadn't. And it happened again. And I had toxic behaviors also. It's not an excuse for someone doing stuff like that. But we live and we learn and we grow. And through prayer and meditation and spending time by myself in a world of cards, you would call that hermiting, or hanged man maybe. And I spent more time with family, in which I see where things started. I love my family. Okay. I'm just saying. And point of the story is I love you. Get help and get away from people that are harming you. You are valuable. You're worth more than that. You do not deserve that at all. It may have been your soul's journey to go through that so that you can gain strength, so that you can help others, which is what I feel like my calling is. And I already had this feeling of wanting to build a community before I came in contact with the last situation, because I had spent 2 years by myself, leaving other toxic relationships, and during that time got into tarot and inner work and just, I don't know if the word is spirituality. I'm not really sure which one. Trying to heal myself. I already knew that I wanted to build a community. It just went through a lot of different steps. And then I went through another terrible relationship. And it pushed me to do this. I am not grateful I went through the relationship. I wish it would have never happened, but it did. And on the bright side of it, I took my ideas, along with God's help and guidance, and I started a channel to help others. I found it easier than doing it in my community at the moment. I would love for it to trickle over into my community too, but I kind of needed to get out of the pool of people that I grew up with, because, it was all toxic, basically. because that's the vibration I was in. And that's the type of people I attracted. And I had to get myself out of that pool and start making new friends. People who have also worked on themselves. And that's what I intend to do, is build a new community that I want to be around who has done the inner work, or is at least trying to. Okay, so that's how I started this. You see, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel if you look for it. You know, and you heal. And you get away from abusers. Immediately. You make a plan right now. I don't care if you have to tell yourself, listen, in 6 months I'm getting the heck out of here. In 6 months, you keep your mouth shut, you be quiet, you stay away from that person, you pray, you meditate, and you start making a plan. And you start asking yourself why you're in that situation. And if you need to learn self-defense, I'm sorry to put this out there because I do not urge people for anything violent, but if you are a woman being abused by a man especially, maybe in the time that you're making your plan, go out and take a self-defense class just in case you need to defend yourself. I wished I would have. And I'm a pretty feisty person, but you know, in those situations you're probably not going to win. You're not even dealing with someone saying, okay, let's do one more. Should be interesting. I've never mixed them. Okay. My kitten's over here. If you hear snoring, it's her. She loves to snore. She's a little snort girl. Oh. Well, I hope you guys are having a good weekend, no matter what's going on in the world or your life, because it's been pretty chaotic. People have been on some ish. Major ish. Oh, I'm just going to take these two. There we go. Those are my little cat guru cards. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the cards. Okay, so looks like, as usual, what's been happening, either I bring up a subject and messages come from my higher power to connect with the message that I'm speaking on, or either the message just comes out. Either way, it's connected. Okay. Once again, so I spoke about domestic violence, and that's the message that came through to clarify. Okay, so for the cards, we get there. Wait, the first one was 12. This is from the Lenormand, so it's a little different. It actually has, yes, of course it has meanings, but they're not, you know, it's more, I don't want to say more image driven, but it's not, it doesn't just clearly state like King of Cups, Page of Swords. It works, it's different. So as you can see, if you can see this, it's more artwork and numbers and suits. So like this one is number 12, and then the card is called the Birds. And then there's a little number 7 card in the bottom corner. I don't know if you can see this clearly, but anyway, they're a little different. They're very nice cards though. So this one's called the Birds. The next one is number 40. It's called the Mask. Move a little closer. The next one is number 4, the House. Then we had the King of Cups, the Empress, and the Page of Swords. Okay, those were our cards. So what the first card, the Birds, represents can be communication, gossip of a positive kind, mass communication. On the negative, of course, it could be gossip that's not on the positive, and it can be also be misunderstandings. The Mask, the next one, is truth or disguise. It can be joy and light, or it can be deception. Anyone that's wearing a mask, you know, very often in domestic violence situations, the person is wearing a mask. So they want the outside world to not know what they're doing inside. Let's just say in the dark. Then you had the House, which is your family, your home, your stability, you know, where are you supposed to feel safe in your space. But in this deck, with the Mask being to the left side of the House, you don't feel safe there. It's just the place you should feel safe is actually a mask or a disguise, because you're not safe there ultimately. So then you have the King of Cups. That should be structure, order, authority, and the person may be charismatic if it's upright, charming, and wise. But when they're negative, when it's a negative King of Cups, that's going to be a controlling, volatile person. Then you have the Empress, which is a strong feminine who rules with love. Reversed, it can be bad luck in love, and you should focus and regroup. It's what we talked about. Then you had the Page of Swords, which is stay on your toes. Who knows what's around the corner? It could be a treat, or it could be a formidable foe. Reversed, trouble ahead. If you talk the talk, walk the walk, prepare for what's next. I would say that could go both for the abuser and the victim. For the abuser, if you're gonna walk the walk and talk the talk, you better be prepared to back it up for whatever's gonna happen to you, either through karma, through the higher powers, decisions on what they're gonna do with you for the treatment that you're giving another human being. And if you're the victim, you need to walk the walk and talk the talk, which in my opinion means tell people what's happening, prepare, and walk away. Be strong. I'll tell you about the cards. This is how I do my readings. I'll tell you about the cards because it also helps me learn. You know, the cards being that I've been watching readings for many years, but I finally started to do them on my own. So even though I watch and, I have knowledge of what they're saying, I don't know, I'm not able to just lay them down and tell you what every single thing means. I could probably look at the card and try to tell you, but I'd rather give the proper information so that you learn and so that I learn. Over time, I won't have to do this anymore. I'll just know them more than likely, or I may keep doing this. It helps me stay on point too, because I talk a lot and I can bounce around, and it helps me stay focused on the points. So now I'm going to tell you the message put together, okay? From my point of view. If you're experiencing domestic issues with a person wearing a mask, there could be gossip. A lot of times they're going to go around and they're going to flip the narrative, because a person who is a domestic abuser never wants anyone to know about it, for the most part. Sometimes they're bold and they don't care and they'll do it in public. But a lot of times they try to hide it, and they put a mask on as if they're the greatest person in the world to everyone else. And they hurt the ones that they have under the control in private. So they will gossip about you, they will slander you. If you try to leave, they will make everyone think that you were the terrible one and that it was your fault. Or they'll try to lie and say they didn't do it at all. Either way. Just know there's probably gossip behind your back. Don't worry about that. That is neither here nor there. In my personal experiences, they want to hide you from anyone, from all of their friend group anyway, because that's how they control the narrative. They don't want you around people because they've already told them all their stories, and the stories won't. If you get there and you start talking and they see, well, wait a minute, this person doesn't seem like that, or you start saying things that don't match with their stories and lies, they're going to wear a mask. They're not going to want you around their people. So you're not going to have to worry about what they're gossiping about, because you're never going to be in their friend group. They don't want you to be. Two separate lives. So what those crappy people are saying about you don't mean you any harm, because you're never going to hang around with them. They're low vibrational idiots, and you're never going to be around them anyway, so who cares what they say? Really. You are in or from a home that has trouble that is disguised as stability. So whether it be from your relationships currently or from your childhood, somehow or another there was a falseness to it. There was stuff behind the mask that was disguised as stability. You could even have been telling yourself that you had stability. But if somebody's harming you 1 minute and tries to love you the next, it's not stable. The King of Cups, so the King of Cups you're dealing with, okay, is reversed, meaning where they should be, or what they're presenting to the world as being an upstanding individual, it is not. They're not. They're reversed. They're insecure, controlling. They dominate, they bully, they put you down, they verbally abuse, they push you around, or worse. And then they love bomb you. So they can do the whole cycle again. Because you're remember, you're their energy source. Because of all their demons they have inside, they need to beat up on you. That makes them feel better. because they don't want to sit down and do the inner work. They would rather trash you to make themselves feel a certain kind of way. Where there should be safety and security, there's actually volatile actions against you. All right, we know this. So it's time for you to be the Empress or the Emperor, whether you be a male or a female experiencing this. You need to stand up. You need to be strong. You need to make a plan so that you can get away from the danger, so that you can take time, heal, and find out why you're putting yourself in those situations, so that you don't keep repeating the cycle of domestic violence or verbal abuse. It's all the same. To me, it's all the same. Regroup, focus, make a plan, so that you can rule your empire, which is what the Empress does, with love, so that you can put yourself in loving relationships, so that you can create a happy environment for yourself, whether you're a male or female. You don't deserve to be abused. Stay on your toes. Watch your back with that person. Realize what they're doing. You cannot trust them. No matter how much they come back and love bomb you and tell you that, oh, help me do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to therapy and help me heal. And it's bull. It is baloney. They just want you as power source. They want to abuse you. Abused people abuse people. Get away from them and their lies. Walk away and tell your story. Do not be ashamed to tell your story. You will help someone else who's stuck, who's thinking about suicide or any other thing that could happen when you're in domestic violence situations, because it will drain the life out of you. And you will start thinking it's your fault. It's a mind trip. I think there's something on my screen. I don't know. Anyway. I could write a book on it. Really, I could. But you will make it out, though. Once you realize why, once you realize where it all comes from, you're going to see it was just like an illusion you were putting yourself in, because you didn't see how ridiculous the whole situation was. And I'm not downplaying it. By ridiculous, I mean the cycle of love and hate. It's not love. Okay, first of all, it's not. It is karmic, and it is a lesson. Nothing more, nothing less. It is not. One thing about it is love. If it came from your parents that also had apparently experienced some kind of abuse, I'm going to hope that they loved you, but they were damaged. If it comes from a random partner, it's a different situation. I mean, I don't think that partner loves you. I think they just use you for a whipping post. I could be wrong. You can make a choice whether you want to forgive the people or not. I guess it depends on the severity. For family from my experiences with family, with actual blood tie family, I don't know. I don't know if I want to use the word forgive. I will say this. I will say I understand that hurt people hurt people. I think the forgiveness part is not going to come from me. That would have to be for them to go to God or their higher power and ask for forgiveness, not from me. Because I'm not going to forgive anyone for harming me personally. I can work through it. I can see where it comes from. And they can ask God for forgiveness. And I will ask God for healing and forgiveness. That's what I choose to do. You know, I may change along the way. You can go about it however you want. My suggestion, though, is first and foremost, at this very moment, it has nothing to do with love, and you need to get away from it, and you can heal, and you can succeed, and you will if you have strength, faith, and you realize how wonderful you are. Okay. My little cat guru cards are so cute. Okay, this one's called Tama the Station Master. Oh, I had this little guy or girl recently. Look for the light at the end of the tunnel. It might be a mouse with a torch. It's cute. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me. There really is. This is a serious topic, so, you know, I take it very seriously. So sometimes I'm like more giggly and lighthearted, but this is serious. This is no joke. But I am here to tell you that you can get through it. You will get through it. It has pushed me to do something that I really enjoy. And it has also pushed me to really go through the final steps of realization of where it all comes from. You know, it took a lot of stuff in life, a lot of different situations. And again, I don't wish they had happened because they were miserable, but if it's what it took for me to get to this point where I'm doing some other things that I enjoy and I'm at peace and I realize I don't need anyone, but I would enjoy being with people who are uplifting, healed people who are loving. That is the light at the end of the tunnel for me. Not repeating those toxic, karmic relationships. Same person, different body. Let's put it that way. Same toxic human in a different skin. The next card is Dusty the Klepto Kitty. Make sure you always leave a parting gift. Just don't make it a fur ball. I would say the parting gift, you can leave the domestic abuser, is you taking your control back, you pulling back your energy, you leaving and letting them sit there in their misery or repeating their own karmic cycle wherever they're going to until they finally realize that they can't abuse everyone. Yeah, that's the parting gift you can give them. That while they could abuse and harm everyone else that put up with it in their life. They cannot do it to you. There has to be an end to it. And you walking away is that end. That's the parting gift. Parting gift is saying bye and gaining your self-respect and realizing your value and realizing that you are way too good to be in a situation with that person. But it takes healing. So that's it pretty much. Didn't know we were going this way tonight, but sometimes things have to be said. And apparently I'm here to do that because I'm not shy about it, and I care about people that are having to deal with the same thing, and I want to see better for people, and I want to see better for the world. So these are the messages I give. Thank you, God. Have a good weekend, and if I decide to do another one that's a little more lighthearted, I will. Hopefully you can hear this. My microphones are not working, you know. If I have to put captions on it, I will. The important part is getting the message out. Okay. I truly care for all of you, or anyone who's a victim. And I hope the very best for you. I hope you get the sun, the moon, and the stars. Because you deserve it, and you deserve to heal so that you can get love that respects and values you from either your family or partners. Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna let it go. Katie's over here snoring, and it's late. Okay. I just wanted to get one out for the weekend. So, pretty sure I introduced myself. My name's Laura, and if you like the video, like it and share it if you know anybody that needs it. And have a good weekend. Go on an adventure. Remember, this is tarot and adventure. Okay? Adventure. Get outdoors. Get outdoors because Mother Nature is one of the best doctors there is. Or the best, probably. That's it. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.